We spoke off air about the races you have coming up.
So my goal is to win the race. I'd like to go win.
To say you're going to win the race, I'm going to assume your training is going as good as you could hope. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
No coach, no teammates, no fancy facilities. What has made this training period better than any other? It's simple and something you might be missing. Here's the one secret that has changed my training. So this past weekend I ran in my first race of the year, a 10-mile road race where I ended up winning in 54 minutes and 33 seconds. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a recap of the race, some of the highs and lows of my recent training, and what has been different this time around. So the purpose of this race was to get a hard, longer effort in before my half marathon on March 3rd. And my goal was to run 57 minutes, which is right at 5:42 pace. And that was, at the time, my goal half marathon pace. And another goal of mine was to go out and win. Now the plan was to get out the first 2 miles, to settle into a pace, run conservatively on the hills for miles 3 through 6, and then really cut it down the last 4. Now, here's what really happened. The first 2 miles, I was able to get out into a pack of 3, sat on these 2 guys for the first 2 miles, was hanging right around 5:35 pace, felt really smooth. And my goal was just to stay with them as the race played out, see if they stayed on the pace, if they picked it up, if they fell off. We get to mile 2, we hit the first hill, and I begin to gap them a little bit and make the decisive decision to make a move and separate myself. So I'm at mile 4, I'm all by myself. I'm running at a pace a lot faster than what I was expecting to run, and now kind of had to adjust my race plan on the fly. I'll touch more on this later, but this race was the longest I'd ever been in the pain cave.
Oh man, that hurt so bad. 5:28 pace.
It probably was the best I handled going to that place. In the last 6 miles, I averaged right at 5:26 pace and was able to finish 3 minutes ahead of the next competitor. Now this race was a huge breakthrough for me because it was my first individual win in 5 years since I was a senior in high school. And just a year prior, I had an injury that made me question if I would ever get back to a place where I was running competitively. Now some lessons that I learned from this race. First of all, we always underestimate what we can go do. I ran 2.5 minutes faster than what I thought I could go. And this is a mistake I see a lot of beginner and intermediate runners make. I found that self-belief and a nothing to lose mindset can help alleviate that and allow you to go out and exceed your expectations. The second lesson I learned is owning the morning. I made it a huge priority to start my day with running and time in the Word. That has built a discipline and mental fortitude that really showed up on race day. And doing these things in the moment doesn't always feel like a big deal, but over time, it really does stack up and make an impact, which leads right into my third lesson, which is consistency compounds. The body of work over time will produce results. This is week 13 of my build. And by showing up each day and doing what I plan to do, nothing more and nothing less, it's going to lead to those results that I want. Now on to training. For me, it's running 6 days a week. I always take 1 day off. I'm a huge proponent of that. It helps you reset and really give your mind and body a break. Of those 6 days, 4 of those are easy runs. I talked about easy in the last video. Make sure to check that out. But easy means easy, so I really go off feel. I don't look at my watch too much. The other 2 days are workout days. Those workouts are usually a longer tempo and then a progression long run where I'm going 13 or 14 miles and the back half of that run is cutting down. And these workouts are helping me to enter that pain cave that I talked about getting into at that race. It's when you're tired and uncomfortable, being able to run fast and stay mentally tough. I've also sprinkled in a mix of core, mobility, and strength days to make sure that I'm staying healthy and building strength. But there have been some struggles. I was really blessed to compete in college for 4 years, and the college training environment is very controlled. You're in this bubble where everything's taken care of, and that's hard to replicate now that I'm outside of that. I'm having to wear a lot of different hats, which has been fun but also challenging. Struggling to be diligent with doing the little things, stretching, core, doing my strength days, things that I talk about the importance of on this channel, and is a perfect example that even though I talk about these tips and principles that I've used, I'm still growing in these. I'm still working to be disciplined on days that I'm not motivated. Finally, the secret you've all wanted to hear, and is summed up by a quote from Nick Bare: control what you consume. Control what you consume. These past couple of months, I've been super intentional about what I'm consuming, what I'm watching, what I'm reading, what I'm listening to, what I'm saying to myself, who I'm surrounding myself with, and what they're saying to me and to other people. These things impact our souls and our minds, and what you consume is who you become. Now this applies to running because running is as much, if not more, mental than physical. So what I consume is going to positively or negatively affect my mental strength and have a physical impact. This training block, I've been able to control what I consume. It's been getting up early in the morning to have an easy run. It's spending time in prayer and devotion and community with people that are positive, that are going to keep me accountable, and that are pushing toward their own goals. It's been eating healthy, spending time reading books and listening to podcasts. Most importantly, it's been prioritizing my relationship and my faith with Jesus Christ again. Now, for each person, you have to find moderation and find rhythms that fit your schedule. So maybe you're watching this video and you feel stuck, you don't know what to do or change. First, I want you to take a deep breath and not try to change too much at once. I want you to take some time to unplug, find out what you're consuming. Take some inventory of how you're spending your days. Start by replacing one negative consumption with a positive one, and do that over and over again. Take it step by step, being present and being patient. Through discipline and consistency, you will be able to reach this healthy place. I'm gonna link below the podcast and books that have been instrumental in this change for me. I'm not sponsored by any of these things, so I truly am putting these down here because they've been such a huge help to me. And that's a huge reason why I started this channel, is because I want to help you guys on this journey toward becoming your best self. That's all for today's video. Make sure to hit that notification bell, like, comment, and subscribe, and remember to control what you consume. I'll see y'all next time.